Hello, my name is Eric Putkonen. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm talking about the trap of trance. It's possible to fall into a trance when trying to meditate, having ecstatic experiences, bliss, things like this. And what trance is a losing of awareness. You're losing the awareness of what is, and instead you're falling into what could be a rather pleasant experience, almost kind of a drug high. I know when I was reading a book by one of Ramana Maharshi's students, I think it was Annamalai Swami. Anyways, he talked about how he would see some people that would come and see Ramana Maharshi, and they would close their eyes, and they would have this look of reverie on their face as they're, blissed out or, in his presence or whatever. And Ramana would say, hey, go shove him awake. Go have him go do something. Help out around here or walk around Arunachala or something. He goes, being in those states isn't good. And the fact of the matter is, it's because he said it really isn't truly making any progress spiritually. It's almost like a pause button or an escape from reality. There's a story of a sadhu who was, traveling with his disciple or student, and he sends his student to go get him some water because there's a nearby town or cross the river or whatever, and he's like, go get me some water. And while the student leaves, he goes into basically reverie, this trance, where he's kind of losing. He just totally lost touch and awareness of reality. Instead, he's in this ecstatic experience, and unbeknownst to him, years pass. His student actually dies. The river flow changes. Life goes on, and a decade later, as the story goes, he comes to, and the first thing he says is, "Where's my water?" The state of mind that he went into reverie is the exact same state of mind that there is coming out of reverie. That he has not made a spiritual progress per se. It's he's basically just numbing his senses. He's putting a pause. It's almost like escaping reality for a period of time, and you come back and you're exactly the same as you've been the entire time. And as some teachers like Ramana and others have pointed out, the seductive nature of this is because it's a very pleasant experience. And so whether it's sitting around being blissed out of your mind, so to speak, where you're losing touch with reality and you're just there, practically stoned, or whether you're in meditation and similarly you have this experience of it's very pleasant, but you're not aware of anything. You actually lose awareness of everything. And so this is kind of a cautionary video to watch out for trances. They are not the point. They are, in fact, an obstacle. You have, basically fallen into the trap of trance, and if not careful, you might find yourself becoming addicted to how pleasant it is and just want to do that. And yet, when you wake up, you're still suffering in life. You're still having problems, and there's still worry and fear and regret and all this other stuff going on, and you only feel really pleasant. You feel good when you're in trance. And so you spend more and more time in trance, never overcoming the roots of ignorance and overcoming suffering itself. Enlightenment, awakening, liberation, this all involves a dispelling of ignorance and overcoming the roots of suffering itself. And so that you are fully aware, you're awake, hence awakening. You're awake You're fully aware. And, there's no longer suffering, and there's other things like that. You don't need the trance. The trance is a temporary escape. And so the trance state is the wrong direction. And so if you find yourself meditating and you're losing awareness and you're drifting off into a trance, wiggle your toes, open your eyes for a bit, do something to, reground or come to, basically. I mean, if you find yourself drifting off, it actually might be a good time to take a quick walk. Still in a meditative state, just a slow walk, fully aware, fully feeling everything, fully aware, but silent and still internally, not thinking, contemplating, very much a meditative, being present, mindful kind of state. And in this way, you're continuing the meditation, you're just moving. And so you'd move for a little bit and come back down and sit. And in this way, you can avoid the drifting off into trance. Because I will say, even in my spiritual journey way back, and this was in my teens, when I first started learning to meditate, I would say that was probably the most common meditation. I thought I was doing meditation, but that was the most common result of my meditations was trance. I would just lose track of everything. It'd just be a nothing. And there was no awareness, no dispelling of ignorance, no understanding gained. I would be done afterwards, and nothing has changed in terms of still the illusions of the mind and a separate me, and everything still continued. Same old, same old. And so I can recognize in hindsight all the times that I had been in trance. But, when you're starting out or you're earlier in the journey, you may not know the difference. And so, it's comes down to being fully aware. If you find that you're losing awareness, you're not aware of the body anymore. You're not aware of your breath. You're not aware of your heartbeat. You're not aware of what's going on around you. It's like all your senses are shutting down. That's trance. That's not really meditation. That's not being fully aware. And the point is to be fully aware, not to kind of anesthesize yourself and just totally, escape reality. Anyways, if you got any questions, comments, please post below. But until next time, thank you much.